It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
Yeah, but they got a lot of things for us to be afeared about. You know, here on Declare Your Independence, with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. There is a lot of things I want to talk about today, and let me tell you what's going to happen. In the second hour, we're going to have Barbara Peterson. Now, she is a columnist on Freedom's Phoenix, and she runs a website called Farm Wars. And she was a detention correctional officer or whatever in California was her career. And when she retired, she moved to a little farm that she has in Oregon. And she raises chickens, has some goats, some other farm animals. Got, a parrot, I think. I mean, she's just, living on the land. And she's really been following this S510 thing. And I wanted to get someone that really had a vested interest in this because I'll tell you what I'm concerned about. Of all the things that we cover and all the things that we do, I'm relatively concerned about, one main thing, surviving. In the end, freedom always wins. It just gets really messy first. But the thing is freedom going to be found in our lifetime? Is it going to be here in America or not? And there's some articles that we have on Freedom's Phoenix today that just really kind of, I'll put it up here so you can see what we're talking about. And on the video, and I'll describe it to you for the radio audience. We have WikiLeaks. Now, Julian Assange, how much is he in trouble? Well, he's got Interpol red alert on him now. He's go traveling anywhere. They're going to say hello and haul his butt off to, Sweden or whatever on these sex charges and such. If you're not allowed to complain, then, we know where we're at. And this is global now. Everything's global. This is where we're going. Is can you go anywhere on the planet, and how bad does it have to get for how many millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of people before you start going, man, this is getting bad? Let me tell you what my concern is. Those of us that know, those of us that have been following the trends, those of us that know that there's things happen. Know that there's going to come a time when we are going to have to just survive, sustain ourselves. You set aside food, you set aside seeds. Now, we were promoting heavily last year the seed bank, and there's a kit that they have that you buy acres of seeds, and it comes in a PVC tube about this big, about a foot long and about 5 inches in diameter, and it's capped on both sides. And you pull out all these little Mylar bags of different kinds of seeds. And it gives you a little bit of information in there, different parts of the country where to plant it and such. So I'm going, okay, this is a really good idea. So we promoted that. We got a few acres of it. We had a lot of friends. I bet you just people I know is over 40, 50 acres of this stuff that we bought amongst us and our friends just to have some seeds. It was a good idea. They weren't cheap, but, it was all packaged up and ready to go, and that was a good idea. Then you get some food. You get some staples. You get the, the joke always went, you can't outrun the bear. Well, the answer is I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. So we're just trying to, outrun the other guys. We're the last one standing. We're going to rise up and create a free society later. How much is later? How long is later? What we got to, later for? So you think of technology and different things that you can have. We've talked about it on the show here. I have good friends that live out in rural Arizona that have accumulating devices. You got windmills and solar and backup batteries for the storage and generators and wells and septic tanks and satellite communications and cell phones and totally off-grid living in nice homes. It can be done. The thing is that if you're thinking what's coming and you're looking for a place to go in America, or a lot of times anywhere on the planet, and you say, you know what I want to do? I just want to supply my own needs. I'll take the time, all of a sudden I'm not working for the man and paying taxes and having, two-income family just to be able to afford to be able to, live in this country. You're American. You owe it. You have an obligation. Heck, your unborn children got a debt. I mean, it just gets so bad to where finally the disincentive is so much. You just, man, I'm unplugged. I'm living in a van down by the river. All right. When you come to the conclusion that, as a lot of people have, I mean, certainly the Free State Project and Free Keene and a lot of people listening to the LRN network, they are already of this mind. They're educated. They get it. So they're getting ready to supply their own needs, and you want to do some farming. Well, here in Arizona, we have long growing season. What a lot of people don't know about Arizona, you add water, stuff grows. I mean, you got sunshine. Well, with the irrigation that's done, I remember one time when I was about 20 years old, I was in Tennessee, and I was dating a girl that lived on a farm. Trish the Dish. I forgot all about that. Excuse me. She lived on a farm with her family, and they had a wheat farm. Well, they were so concerned about, is there rain, too much rain, not enough rain, wind, all kinds of stuff that would affect the crops. A lot of things that we don't worry about here in Arizona. All you got to worry about is, turning on the irrigation coming in from the rivers or the aquifers or the pumps, and then, boom, you water it and it grows. So I asked them, I just looked at them, I go, did you guys ever think of irrigating? And they're looking, you stupid kid. We're hilly out in the, never crossed their mind. It's got to rain. That's how they farm. So I'm like, okay, there's a lot of places that you have to do that, and you got growing seasons and so on. Here, you're less like, certainly in a home garden, we don't even plant for the summer. From June, July, August, around the peak of the summer, in parts of September, we don't even attempt to grow anything. It's too hot. You're shading stuff from the sun. But the rest of the year, even this time in the winter, there are things that grow. Certainly with any kind of little bit of protection, you can grow a lot. You got like a little greenhouse, man. You're growing, 9 months out of it. You can go 12 months here in Arizona. So we're thinking, what if there's some places that we can go and find a little canyon somewhere? There's small communities all in northern Arizona. There's a lot of places that may have growing seasons. So we go there and we just kind of, we can move Freedom's Phoenix wherever we can get internet access. Heck, got satellite, and that's getting better. We can do the radio show from anywhere. We can do Freedom's Phoenix. We don't have to be in the city. We don't have to do battle, with the man face to face all the time. But we were thinking, okay, well, then we could grow enough. We have enough land. We get enough acreage. What do you need? 3, 4, 5 acres? Heck, a backyard. I mean, it depends how many people you're trying to support and family and so on. If you're making enough, we've been learning. We were planting stuff. What grows? What does better? What produces most calories? What about chickens, eggs? And then 510 comes along. This is going to have a big impact on what I plan to do with the rest of my life. There are some things I want to read to you and I want to show you today before we get into the second hour. You stay right there. There's some information I want to share. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence in just a little bit.